This episode of the DisCast was recorded on
February 4th, 2015.
at discast.us/live. Tune in Wednesdays at 9 p.m. Eastern to watch the show, or watch recorded episodes on YouTube and iTunes. Follow us on Twitter at DisCastShow, tune to the trivia contest, and more. If you're feeling generous, please throw us a donation on our PayPal or our Patreon to get cool prizes. It would really help us a lot. Thank you, and enjoy the DisCast. Please stand clear of the doors. Por favor, manténgase alejado de las puertas. To our new listeners, we welcome you aboard our podcast Highway in the Sky, and hope you've enjoyed the past week. For those of you standing, please hold on to your headphones at all times, and stand clear of the doors. For the comfort of others, no trolling please. Thank you, and enjoy the DisCast. Hey, what is up guys, it is Ryan, and welcome to the DisCast. Today is Wednesday, February 4th, 2015, and it's shortly after 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm here today with Darren. How you doing, Darren?
I'm doing great. How are you doing? How was your week? How's your life? How was your year?
Good. It was pretty good. My year has just begun. It's the second month of that year, 2015.
You're 12th of the way there.
I am.
Almost done.
Almost done. We can do it.
So close.
The bigger news, only almost 6 more months of school. 5 more months, really. So that's good, right?
Yeah.
That's something to look forward to. So, anything else happened for you this week? Anything big? Anything interesting?
I have an animation competition tomorrow night.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Good luck at that.
And then I'm going to be heading off to States a few months later
Very
for
nice.
video production. And then if I win that, I'll be heading out to Kansas City to
Kansas City.
go and compete against people from all over the country.
Very
So,
nice. Nick's going to go watch you, right? You
Yeah.
Kansas City?
I'll
There
go
you
meet
go.
up with them.
Yeah. We got a lot of stuff going on in Disney news as well. Bob Iger spoke with people in these Wall Street chats, and you got a lot of news out of that. We have some new Shanghai stuff that was just released, and we have a lot of other cool things that have happened this week, and we cannot wait to talk to you guys about them. So, why don't we get started with talking about Spectro Radio? Darren, what's Spectro Radio?
Spectra Radio is a 24/7 radio station that is dedicated to playing Disney parks and overall Disney music. If you enjoy Disney music like myself, Ryan, and many of you I'm sure do, feel free to check out spectraradio.us for 24/7 awesome music from the happiest station on Earth.
Yeah, you showed up to the show today. I haven't seen him in a couple
Yeah.
weeks. It's been a while, Spectro. How you doing?
Slacking. Welcome back.
Yes, but yes, welcome back, Spectro. And you should all definitely go check out Spectro Radio at spectroradio.us to listen to 24/7 Disney parks and overall Disney music. It's a good time. I love it.
If you have a company or you yourself would like to be mentioned during the DisCast, feel free to head over to discast.us/donate and feel free to send a donation over our way. We gladly mention all donators and all businesses, companies,
Yeah?
incorporated things that enjoy supporting us. So
Yeah, so if you'd like to be added to that list, we'd be happy to have you. So
Yeah.
that's that. And now we'll move on to trivia.
trivia question is the correct answer to what Dan Cake said. He said Kansas City, which isn't in Kansas. Technically, it's in both Kansas and
yes,
Missouri.
it's partly in Missouri and
Yeah.
partly in Kansas. We actually had that conversation with Nick
Yeah.
recently because he lives in that area. That was like this weekend. But yeah, there you go. That information was relevant not even a week after. You never think you're going to need to know those things.
Yeah.
But anyway, so last week we asked you guys to tell us the name of the parrot that adorned the top of Pirates of the Caribbean. And the correct answer was Peg-Legged...
Smeagol.
No. The correct answer was Peg-Legged Pete. And it was answered correctly by Disney Chris, along with a few others. Disney Chris just said Pete. That's why I remember his answer. But he's already on the trivia card of winners, as were the other people. Update on that is right here. And last week's trivia question is actually going to segue into this week's trivia question very well. Alright, so...
Soren.
No. But anyway, if you guys think you know the trivia question after I say it, do not put in the Twitch chat. Head on over to Twitter, tag us at DisCastShow using the hashtag DisCastTrivia for your chance to win and go on the trivia card of winners. So, your trivia question this week. So, Peg-Legged Pete was at the top of the Pirates of the Caribbean marquee until 2007, I believe. And after that, they moved him. And your question is, where can you find him now? So,
I stand by my answer.
Soren. Darren thinks it's Soren. What do you think it is? If you think you know, head on over to Twitter, tag us at DisCast Show with the hashtag DisCast Trivia. So there you go. Enjoy that, guys, and we hope that someone knows the answer. Someone will definitely know the answer. I'll probably get my phone buzzing in like a minute with someone with the correct answer, because that's what usually happens. And that's trivia. Now, we're going to go on to our news.
News? Nothing happened this week.
Nothing happened this week.
Yeah,
all right, well,
news.
we're going to talk about some
Thanks for
random things
watching,
in the-
guys.
Yep, good, guys. All right.
D you next time.
D you next time? We'll D you next time. But anyway, lots of interesting things this week. The question is, where do we want to start? Because I don't even know where I want to start. How about we start talking about the Trolley Car Cafe, which opened and looks awesome. Did you see pictures, Darren?
I saw some, not a bunch.
Alright. I think it looks awesome. It kind of has a kind of open-ish kind of feel, almost like it's a film storage area. That kind of a thing, which I like. I think it looks pretty cool. WDW News today, I first found out that it had actually opened on Twitter from him. He was there during a soft opening day, and he took a bunch of pictures, and these are from a user on a forum. And I kind of like the open kind of warehousey feel that it's got going on. And it has... It's got your standard Starbucks menu, obviously. It looks a lot bigger than the Main Street Bakery.
I think it is. It is bigger.
It is definitely
There's
bigger.
A lot of space in there.
Which is interesting, seeing that the park has less attendance. But I think it's just because we have more room, might as well allocate it. And maybe they're also getting ready for increased attendance at the Hollywood studios.
That's most likely what it is.
Yep. Also, interesting news about Hollywood Studios. I want everybody in the chat right now, and if you're watching this on YouTube later, I want you to do it as well. Go to WaltDisneyWorld.com, or, you know, DisneyWorld.disney.go.com. Go to there, and once you're there, I'd like you to mouse over Parks and Tickets, and see if you see anything interesting in the icons over there. Give you a minute, give you 10 seconds, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yeah, I know the Twitch delay wouldn't have caught up, but the correct answer is that the icon for Disney's Hollywood Studios is no longer the hat, it is Tower of Terror. Which is interesting, because we thought it was going to be the Earful Tower. That they were going to publicize
that or Great
that
Movie
way.
Ride.
Or Great Movie Ride. But it was Tower of Terror. Everybody
was wrong.
Everybody was wrong. Well, some people were right.
The only people that were right were the people that seriously looked at that that brochure that was out earlier.
Right, and everyone just thought it was kind of a placeholder thing, but no.
Yeah.
It was
Maybe it is a
that.
placeholder. Maybe it's still in placeholder mode.
Yeah. I don't know.
It's not crazy hard to make those little graphics.
Right, that's possible. That's very true. It's a little bit of work for one person. But you never know. Yeah, Pi noticed this earlier in the day. He was making his fast passes, and it's definitely Tower of Terror, and I find that interesting. Apparently on My Disney Experience, it still shows the hat. That's probably... Really? I don't know if that's an assets kind of thing that you need a full update to do, or I don't know if it pulls assets from the web server, or if it pulls assets from the app. So I'm not sure how that works. But yeah, it is indeed Tower of Terror, which is interesting. Definitely throwing a curveball there.
Pulling back to the Trolley Car Cafe.
Right.
The boxes up top, are those just random boxes?
I think they're props. I don't think they're real boxes.
Yeah, no, but like they have like labels and stuff on them.
Yeah, I can't read them from the pictures we have.
I have a really good picture of it.
All right, can you see what it says?
We have Queen City Teas and Spices.
That makes sense because Starbucks has teas and spices.
Then there's one that just says 100%. Something Hollywood American.
Yeah, so it's
export.
Nothing good.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, whatever. What do you think? You're gonna see some like Star Wars coming soon?
Yeah.
Some like Bob Iger Illuminati confirmed 2015. Like, where were you looking?
I was just looking for something that might have had the indication of a new name.
Oh, alright. True.
Because, like, maybe there would be, like, a shipping label on it or something.
Right. I'm still vying for Hollywood Adventure. I really hope I'm right. Because I've seen so many other people say it just randomly. I'm like, oh, you know how cool that would be?
Like I said, this is, that's how it's gonna be, right? Like this is gonna kind of be like the Main Street-ish area. Then it's just gonna like split up to a bunch of completely like irrelevant lands.
Yeah, so it's gonna be like Hollywood Boulevard is kind of like your main street. It's kind of what joins everything together. Is that it's Hollywood? Is that it's the movies, guys? And then you're going off into different areas. You can extend that Hollywoodish kind of feel down to Sunset Boulevard, right? Where you see more of a Hollywoodish kind of thing, and then you can go into Animation Courtyard and see how animated things are done. You can go into Pixar, which is kind of a subset of that, and tons of Pixar things. And then Star Wars, we are fairly certain. And we'll get to Star Wars soon.
Has anybody ever discussed the fact that they might just get rid of Animation Courtyard and just extend Pixar forward?
I would not want to see that, personally.
You don't think so?
I think Animation Courtyard does serve a purpose. It is good for the classic, because not all Disney animated films are Pixar.
True.
They're still, technically different studios. But
are we both in agreement that the Little Mermaid show is really old and should like be replaced?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
just so I know
like
I'm not the only one.
I've never really liked the Little Mermaid show. It's kind of just been a boring, sit there for 20 minutes. Yay, I'm in air conditioning. That's what it's been for me. I don't know about you.
Yeah.
But it's definitely.
I'd agree to that.
It's definitely old. I think it definitely does need an upgrade. The question is also Beauty and the Beast. Is that going to stay? Is that going to go? Is it going to be replaced by another stage show? Is the stage show going to go away? Who knows? Who knows? In that regard. But staying on with Hollywood Studios stuff, because there's a lot of Hollywood Studios things to talk about. There has been construction started at the exit of Great Movie Ride.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this is probably for the TCM integration kind of stuff.
It's just that's what they said. It was just going to be like a change to the exit, right?
Yeah, it might be a movie set photo opportunity. So it's kind of like a little fake movie set kind of thing for you to take a picture of in after the ride. And it also might be just the kiosk kind of store type thing. Because keep in mind this is outside, so this is not something in the actual existing exit queue or in the existing entrance queue. It's just something actually new outside of the building. So yeah, Awesome Geek says that he saw a rough edit of a Great Movie Ride ending and it's cool. Yeah, I assumed as much. I love the current one though, so it's gonna take a lot for me to think that it's better than the one we have now. Right?
Yeah, it's got big shoes to fill.
It does, definitely. So that's gonna be good. So there's gonna be the photo opportunity thing, which I think would be pretty cool, having a little movie set to take a picture of.
Yeah.
Or I don't think they'd put a kiosk, like a snack or a gift kiosk that close to the exit.
Yeah.
Because I think it would just disrupt traffic flow, so I don't think that's what it's going to be.
You can make the same argument for a photo op thing where they have like a bunch of like little set.
That's true. That's true.
I mean, that's more relevant. You can direct that much better than you could a gift shop.
Yeah, because think about it. The people who are going to the for the photo op thing... Because
you can have like the things on the side and you can be like, just go this way, or if you want to veer off.
Yeah.
Okay, I can see that.
I think the photo op thing is you're going to have mostly people coming from out of the ride because that's kind of relevant to the ride. But a snack kiosk or a gift shop, people just be like, oh, I'm hungry, or oh, let me go get a souvenir. They're going to get tons of people going there. So, it's possible in that regard. Also, I guess we'll talk about... No, you'll save the Star Wars stuff to the end, because that's when it's going to get interesting.
That's the good stuff.
That's the good stuff. We'll talk about Star Wars. Someone said they got their magic bands recently. Gamer Guy, you said you got your... Yeah. Gamer Guy, you said you got your magic bands recently. Apparently, Disney just recently gave out... I think they announced they gave out 10 million of them? Something like that? Hold on,
really?
Number. I'm pretty sure it was 10 million, but I can confirm. Boom, 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 boom. Where is it? 10 million. Yep, they distributed 10 million magic bands. That was as of last week. So, yeah. That's a number. Whether you think it's good, whether you think it's bad, they're here, they're being distributed, and they've definitely got the numbers. So that's something. Sorry, it wasn't really relevant to anything, I just wanted to say it. Let's move over to Disney Springs quickly, just to talk about a few short things. The hat shop has opened, and signage has gone up for a couple more stores, so landing area stores are opening quickly. There's a cool little bit of technology in the West Side parking garage. So, I like the West Side parking garage, I like the look of it, I like, kind of its modern-y kind of look that, that a block of concrete can have. And there's these sensors that will sense exactly how many spaces are available on each level of the parking garage and each row of the parking garage.
Oh, wow.
And then where on the row that the spaces are. So
Dude, that's
you will have lights directing you to where spots are.
Wow.
You go in and it'll say, oh, row 1, it's open. Row 2, it's got this many cars on it. Row 3, it's got this many cars on it. Row 4, it's got this many cars on it. And you will go into the level that you want to, and it'll show you how many spaces are in each row with overhead signs. And once you go into those rows, there'll be green lights and red lights saying if you can park there or not. Isn't that cool?
Dude, that's crazy. It's awesome. That's crazy.
It's awesome. I mean, I want every parking garage in Manhattan to get one of these right now. Of course, it's very expensive for every single parking garage in Manhattan. But as it stands right now, it's in the testing phase. It's not operating every day. It's operating every couple days for them to test things and stuff. But yeah, it's cool. I think it's awesome. I'm a big tech guy. You guys know that. So when I see things like this, I get more excited than I probably should over little things like this. But
I almost don't want it to work because I am not a fan of parking garages at all, and I don't want this to work and Disney being like, hey, let's get rid of parking lots and just kind of parking garage everything.
Well, I mean,
because future.
Right. I mean, the thing with the lots, I mean, the parking garages, they do increase capacity, but you can't just have an infinite capacity for, the Magic Kingdom parking lot because it can only have a set number of people in the park. So it doesn't make any sense to build these garages to fit more people than you could fit in the park. Right?
Well, there's a strange hypothetical with that, because you could run the hypothetical, what if everybody going in the park has their own car?
Right. Yeah, that's true. I think they've compiled enough data over the years to know how many on-site guests there are who will not have cars and how many people daily go there without cars. And that way they can actually kind of say, okay, well, how much parking space do we need? And yes, I'm sure they do run the risk of one day everyone could come with their own cars and there's not enough space. That could happen.
Well, what they do is for something like New Year's Eve, they end up just throwing traffic over at the Epcot lot, and they have everybody take the monorail around.
Right. Yeah, that's been done too. Epcot also obviously gets copious amount of people for New Year's Eve, and then also I don't know, do they ever let you park at the resort lots or no? Maybe for like really overflow days. It
depends.
I've never really driven in, so I don't know. I'm not experienced in that field, so I can't really tell you. So that's that. But I do like this parking garage thing. I think it's pretty cool. As for whether it's going to get integrated to the other park things, probably not, because it's probably just not cost-effective to install parking garages there. Unless something huge happens to those parks' capacity. Like if Epcot was its original thing and it was more of a like an actual futuristic city type thing, then I could see this being implemented there.
Yeah.
Because that makes sense to the theme, but it just doesn't make it. I don't think so. Next up, also in technology and transportation, we've been talking about the bus wait times at certain hotel bus stops and things like that. The latest one is at Port Orleans to Magic Kingdom, and it's tracking guests. Here's how it's working. It tracks your Magic Bands, and so it will record, using NFC and RFID.
So it'll tell when you get to the bus stop, how long you waited at the bus stop, and then how long you were on the bus for between getting from your hotel to the park. Fascinating.
I'm sure there are RFID signals. This is the best. This is the best time to be working in like systems engineering at Walt Disney World. Yeah. Because I find this very cool. Like, I wish I was working on this system, because this just seems like a lot of fun. So basically, there's RFID things everywhere. There's probably ones all over the parks to kind of tell how many people are in each area of the park at any given time, right? There's probably on all the monorail stations, so you can tell the capacities that much better. Think about how much better it is to count like attendance and capacities and statistics for where people are at any given time with this. When people walk onto a ride, no need for turnstiles.
Does this not give you almost a Big Brother impression?
the way I see it, you're on private property. You sign a terms of use to have that tickets and stuff. You're using their facilities. If you have that problem, don't go. If it was the government, it's a completely different thing, and they can't do that. But the fact that it's a private entity is different. That's when people say
you don't find it. I mean, I have no complaints with it. But do you think that people are like, Disney knows where I am at all times? Like, is this weird at all? And like, how do you know that it just stops at Disney World? Like, how do you know like that they're not hooking these things up to like an area near Universal? And so like, if you just happen to have like your Magic Band in your car or something,
right? I mean, I'm sure they could, and I'm sure I don't know if there's a privacy policy when you buy Magic Bands. Next time I buy park tickets, next time I go, I'm gonna see if there's what's in the terms of use, what's in the privacy policy, and actually, you know. Oh, Kevin said he actually read the terms of use. Read by long-range readers. I think that's what we're talking about to do these kinds of things. But, yeah, I definitely do want to see the terms of use myself, just to kind of see what specifically they can and can't do. I'm fine with it, because I just like this. I think this technology stuff's kind of cool. When I'm thinking about this technology and thinking about it in use, the last thing I think about is security and privacy, which is probably a bad thing. But, you know, I don't know. I'm in the mindset. I don't really have anything that I don't mind Disney knowing where I am.
Look, personally, I'm fine with it, right?
Yeah.
Like I said, I have nothing against.
There will be people who are against it, though. Yes.
Yeah,
and for that reason,
those might kind of deter those people from going, and
right. But I think there will always be a choice for you to not have have an RFID disabled system. Like you need an option to have something that does not use that wireless.
Well, you can get a hard ticket.
Yes, you can.
You can. The cards. So
now they have short range RFID in those. I don't think they have the long range kind of bus stop tracking things that the Magic Bands have in those.
And if you don't want to be tracked once you're in the park and stuff, and then like once your day's done, just throw it out.
Yeah, I mean that's a waste of like $30, but do your thing.
Not the Magic Bands, the
cards. Yeah, definitely. But I like this stuff. I think it's cool. The long range readers are cool. A little stalkerish maybe, but I'm still interested in it because, like I said, I'm a tech guy. I like this stuff. It just makes me really excited. Yeah. Let's go into Magic Kingdom really quickly to talk Be Our Guest lunch reservation changes. So, starting at the end of this month, February 25th, everyone can make advanced lunch registrations for Be Our Guest.
Perfect. So the place that it was impossible to get reservations for before just became slightly more impossible.
Yeah. Right now, I know that only hotel guests have been given the option to test the Fast Pass Plus kind of thing in terms of the lunch reservations, but now they're opening up to everyone, so that's good. I did do this. This is what I did when I was there. The concierge was like, "Yo, you want to try this out?" I'm like, "Sure." And I went there. The My Disney Experience ordering was not a thing yet. Disney Experience was still kind of in its infancy then. But we made our orders on the kiosks, then paid beforehand, which was nice. The whole pay before you go in is kind of good because it removes people staying at tables for too long when you wait for servers to come and get your payment and stuff like that. So that was interesting. Obviously, I don't think they don't do that for dinner because dinner's table service. But for lunch, it kind of keeps the flow of things going, especially when you have a huge line of standby people outside. But this might deter the standby line a little bit because of this. And Kevin, yeah, that's basically what all hotel guests have been given for the past year, that option now. And I was before that. I was in like the alpha stage. Now that's kind of the beta stage. Now at the end of this month, it's actually going to be completely out for everyone to use, and that is exciting and that is good. Yeah.
I remember a few years ago when like Magic Bands were in like their very first like primitive stage, where like it was invite only, and the only way you would get an invite was just being at MCO at some random time.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
That was when I used to be a very religious viewer of Inside the Magic's podcast.
Got it.
I remember those days. I thought it was the weirdest thing too, because I remember Ricky talking about like this crazy system of where like you plan your entire vacation ahead of like even entering property, and I'm like, wow, that's a terrible idea.
Mm-hmm. My girlfriend likes to do that now, and
what? Just go and wing it? Or
no, just plan everything 6 months in advance.
That's.
I know. I don't like that.
I'm fine. Like I'm fine with 3 fast passes, but anything beyond that, like where you have your entire day revolving around like things being open and like lines being a certain, like it becomes stressful at that point. Like having to be at things by certain times.
Yeah, I agree. Like I don't even know what park I'm going into tomorrow. I'm just like, where do we feel like going? And that's one of the reasons I don't like the whole Fast Pass Plus. You got to make 30 days in advance. I honestly think that. I honestly, I mean, I've said this before. I think that Fast Pass Plus should just be Legacy Fast Pass Digital.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I think.
So you go there at a certain time, you scan your Magic Band, it gives you a time, and then you just come back at that time.
I mean, yeah, but I mean, you could do it from your phone. You could do it from the kiosks. You don't. It's like just same day only. Everything that we have right now, except just remove
like what qualifies as like same day, like an hour before park opening, or like
sure, an hour before park opening. That sounds fine. And then it basically goes through the same process. It allocates a certain percentage of fast passes for My Disney Experience. Sorry, what am I trying to say? It allocates a certain amount for hotel guests to use their. The hotel guests would do them on their phones, and everyone else would do the kiosks or whatever.
Yeah.
And the system that we were talking about, and that's what I think they should have had. But we don't live in that world. We live in this world, so we got to deal with that. But whatever, it's all right, and that kind of stuff. So yeah.
Moving forward, you want to talk about Shanghai?
Shanghai. Hold on, let's talk about Peter Pan because the queue actually completely opened.
How different is it from the,
Not too much that I could see from the video I saw, but I saw that in the shadow wall thing, Tinkerbell and Peter were showing up there, and I don't think we saw that in the original testing thing.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So, it's the same stuff, the same clap for Pixie Dust, the same
bells,
the Tinkerbell flying around the room, but also Tinkerbell and Peter Pan show up on the wall with the shadows when you're playing with your shadows, so that's cool. And other than that, things are probably perfected from then to now. And I cannot wait to see this when I go down next time. It's gonna be pretty cool. Now we can go to Shanghai. Darren, tell us about Shanghai.
Shanghai, they got all sorts of stuff going on.
Yeah.
So what's the deal with Pirates? They're pushing it back?
Well, no, they're pushing back the entire park. That's the whole idea. It's next year. It was supposed to be late 2015. Now it's mid 2016.
Okay.
But the park's gonna be bigger than planned, apparently. So that's good.
It looks great. I'm looking at the construction photos of Pirates, and these boats look amazing.
Pirates is going to be a huge e-ticket attraction, and of course we mentioned.
Brian, you want to go to Shanghai with me?
Let's go. I mean, I'm all for it. I want to go. I mean, I have no interest in going to anywhere else in China, but to go here...
Who cares?
I know, honestly.
Let's do it.
This seems like it's going to be...
donate.
Yeah, donate.
Too. We'll get a big, like, DisCast trip going.
Oh, yeah. I love it. In all honesty, though, this is shaping up to be, in my opinion...
This is going to be the Disney park.
Yeah, I think it's going to be the best
This is going... people look at Walt Disney World and, like, Tokyo Disney... Those are the big ones.
Right.
Like, those are the ones that were done right 100%.
People will agree with you heavily on that. That's a tough thing to say. But yeah, okay.
When you compare it to things like Disneyland Paris and you have, the debacle of DCA, like, pretty much right out of the get-go, all 4 Walt Disney World parks had a pretty strong opening.
Right.
And same with the Tokyo parks.
Mm-hmm.
And Shanghai Disneyland is going to be exactly like that.
Basically, what I'm thinking is, Obviously, if you want to do anything new with new technology and next-gen upgrades with
Do it in
Disney
China.
World... Well, yeah, but, okay, hold on. If you're going to do that with Walt Disney World or with Disneyland or with Tokyo Disneyland, there's existing infrastructure. And the existing infrastructure that was built 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 years ago, in the case of Disneyland, it's antiquated, maybe it's in the way, and it's too much work or too much money, or some other resource, too much time, to get rid of the existing infrastructure to put in new infrastructure, or to get rid of existing things to put in new things. I talk about gigabit internet and Google Fiber and those kind of stuff all the time, and how even though I'd love to see it come to New York, it's never going to happen in New York City because there's so much existing infrastructure and it's so big and so dense and so populated that it's tough to do anything with it because everything's so old, right? And the thing with Walt Disney World or Disneyland is the same thing. There's all this old stuff there and it's hard to put in the new.
Mm-hmm.
In Shanghai, you're starting fresh.
Yeah. Well, you know what it is, and we've had this discussion before about the technology that's set up at Walt Disney World and how, all the computers and everything's still running Windows XP because they don't have the infrastructure pre-built in to allow system-wide upgrades.
It's a lot of work to upgrade things, and not only, just operating system, but I'm talking like,
like physical ride systems.
Yeah, like new ride systems. If you want to put something in, it's going to require a massive closure, something that you don't want to risk. In Shanghai, of course, everything's new. There's nothing there right now. It's an empty canvas of a theme park. We can't do that with cities. We can't just start a new city in the middle of the desert. Well, I guess we could, but no one's going to do that. And it'd be cool if you could, because just think about all of the technology upgrades we could have from today that cities that have been around since the late 1800s haven't gotten a chance to experience. And that's the same attitude I'm having towards Shanghai Disneyland. It's going to have all of this new stuff that is too much work or costs too many resources to put in the existing parks. And I'm very, very, very excited. Cannot wait. I definitely want to go to Shanghai. Like it juts to the top of my list of foreign Disney parks to visit by far.
I'm excited for the hotels.
Right?
The Toy Story Hotel?
Toy Story Hotel is apparently awful.
Really?
From what people don't like it right now. Especially, your Andy Castros of the world. They really don't like it.
Yeah.
But whatever. What else is there? What other hotels did we get confirmed?
What?
What other hotels did we get confirmed? Shanghai.
There's there's like the generic one. It's like the Disneyland Hotel.
Oh, right.
Which is just like the... You know what ride I'm excited for? The Tron roller coaster.
Yes, that's gonna be cool. I'm excited for it. There's nothing I've seen that I'm not excited for, to be honest, with Shanghai. Everything I've seen, I've been very, very excited for, and it's gonna be it's gonna be awesome. I just can't say anymore. It's gonna be amazing. So now we can talk about Star Wars.
Oof.
So Bob Iger was talking to Bloomberg News about some stuff. He was talking about, Star Wars, how he's very, very excited for it. He can't wait for everyone to see it. He wishes it came out tomorrow, so we could all see it quicker. He also teased things about Star Wars in the theme parks. He mentioned, I'll be able to see Star Wars before it comes out. He's like, it's one of the perks of the job. I also get to ride all the new rides before they open. And then Trish Reagan from Bloomberg News said, speaking of rides, how is Star Wars going to be integrated into the theme parks or something like that? And he said that there's going to be a fair amount of design and development to greatly increase Star Wars presence in Walt Disney World, Disneyland, most likely Shanghai, he said, and probably Tokyo and Hong Kong as well.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't mention Paris, I don't remember. I just watched the video a couple hours ago.
Paris has his own issues to worry about.
Yeah, I know. But he said the managers are hard at work, and he ended it with, fairly soon, I'm sure we'll be ready to go public with some specifics. But it's safe to say you'll see a lot more Star Wars at Disney and at Disney parks in the near future. And we mentioned this. The best guess right now as to when that fairly soon is going to be the Star Wars convention celebration thing in Anaheim this April. Or maybe Star Wars weekends. Or maybe D23. That's what we said. I'm hoping Star Wars celebration.
I'm thinking
that's the soonest one.
Yeah, I'm thinking Star Wars weekend is when they're gonna do it.
Well, Star Wars weekends is in May and June. The celebration convention thing in Anaheim is in April. So I hope it's then, but it might be in Star Wars weekends because that's when it's more pertinent because it's theme parks and Star Wars. So yeah, and so the question is where, because it seems to be it's going to be widespread, but is it actually going to be very, very widespread? We're going to see things in multiple Walt Disney World parks, so we're going to actually see things in all the foreign parks that Iger mentioned. How about Disneyland? Is that Toontown rumor going to come to fruition? How about the Tomorrowland one? We don't know. What are your takes, Darren? Where do you think Star Wars is going to end up?
Hollywood Studios.
Hollywood Studios.
No
Is that it? Yeah, I think we understand that. We're going to talk a little bit more about that in a second. But in addition to Hollywood Studios.
Maybe something in Epcot. Maybe that'll be like a replacement to Inventions. Kind of like how Disneyland did like the Iron Man one. They could do like a Star Wars type thing. As much as I don't want to see that happen, it almost makes sense, because that's how you drive guests into Inventions West, which is literally dead and is just taking up space.
I feel that's a little too fantasy for me.
I have no real thought on anything happening in Tomorrowland as far as Disney World goes. I know there's been that crazy speculation of the Disneyland Tomorrowland just gutting Tomorrowland.
Yeah.
Putting that there. I don't know. It depends on where they take it. Each direction they take it could throw it in a different direction.
Yeah. You know, we don't really know. Of course, the Toontown thing is interesting, and it's kind of a long shot, as far as I'm aware at the moment, with the whole Toontown just going away and becoming Tomorrowland, because it doesn't really make any sense in terms of where it is in the park, unless Tomorrowland is directly connected to it. It kind of solves the problem of people who want traditional Tomorrowland to stay but still see Star Wars. You know, that is on the opposite side of Tomorrowland from Star Tours, too, which is strange. So, yeah, we're not really sure. I would not like to see it in Epcot, I can tell you that much. So let's talk about something regarding it at Hollywood Studios. We've gotten rumors from the phone call that Bob Iger had that Echo Lake might be demolished next month in March. So the actual lake would go away. Gertie, the dinosaur in the lake, would also be going away, as would Min and Bill's Dockside Diner.
It's a lot of things.
It is, and a lot of the old-time MGM
Hollywood
Studios people love it. You know, because these were all of these things opened.
Those are the
opening day on MGM. That was MGM pretty much when it originally opened. And so people are now saying that next month the demolition is going to start and that whole area is going to go, and that's going to be part of Star Wars, which would allow the Muppet Vision area to survive. Yeah.
Because that's where people thought the expansion was going, either back or forward. So.
Well, I think it's definitely going to go back just for Pixar things.
No, I'm talking about Star Wars on that side.
Oh yeah, I know, but
because remember that's why everybody thought Osborne, like this was the last year for Osborne.
Right. The Muppet Vision area stays. Does that mean that Osborne, Streets of America is going to stay too?
What would they put there?
It's tough because
would they have like Star Wars go everywhere around Muppets?
I don't know, because of course we know that back area is encroaching on the Pixar territory because it's very close to Backlot. And it's also dangerously close to Lights, Motors, Action, which we've been throwing around the idea of a Cars overlay with, which would fit into the Pixar area over there. Which is interesting. Of course, also, if they did get rid of the Muppet Division area, that would allow Pizza Planet to be relocated to a Pixar-y kind of area, which just makes sense. I was saying Soundstage 1, but I think that has other plans. So that's not going to happen. But perhaps somewhere else in the new Pixar area, especially if Toy Story Playland becomes a thing. If Toy Story Playland becomes a thing, there's no reason to not move Pizza Planet over there.
Yeah.
So.
And they could actually make it look like Pizza Planet, not just throw it in a pre-existing building like what they did when they first put it in.
Right. Yeah. And
right, you know, like in Toy Story 1, how it's, like they got like the big rocket thing, and it's this big building, and
I would love to see that. I'm really hoping they spare no expense in this Hollywood Studios expansion, because this has the potential to be awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, we haven't had anything official come from Disney. All of this has been speculation and hype by bloggers and podcasters in the community that have been saying things like this, and also people who apparently have inside sources who knows if they're real or not. But of course, with all the hype that we've been drumming up by ourselves, it's going to be tough for the actual thing to live up to it.
Yeah, I think that's where the issue is going to be at, because they've held back announcing anything for this long.
Yeah. You know, people were like, I think the number that was being thrown around about 6 months ago was 400 million, which is not that much when you look at $1 billion spent in My Disney Experience and My Magic Plus integration. So, yeah.
Look, they could stretch that money for a while, though. You're forgetting that.
Right, but I mean, if we want to see all these cool things, like immense Star Wars things, if we want to see an immense Pixar presence, if we want to see Toy Story, if we want to see Pizza Planet get an actual movie-appropriate overhaul.
Now, do you think that it's 500 million or whatever for the entire park, or just each, like, let's say Star Wars itself?
I don't know. Like that number, who knows? That was an insane rumor that could have no bearing on anything at all. Maybe they do want to spend as much as they can to make it the best they can. We don't know. Also, who knows? They can work on a budget pretty well. I think we've seen things that Disney has done. Like, more money doesn't necessarily mean better quality. Anyone who doesn't like My Magic Plus will be the first to tell you that. So, yeah.
See, it would make sense if it was, like, let's say 500 million, if that wasn't for the entire park, if that was for, let's say, Star Wars or Pixar.
Right, that's better. I like that. I like that number better.
Because what was the money they were throwing at Disneyland Paris? They were throwing $1 billion at that, right?
It wasn't like $2 billion. I don't know, something crazy.
It was some crazy number.
That wasn't parks, obviously. That was actually like the Walt Disney Company just being like, "Here, have money."
Yeah.
So. Yeah, and we haven't seen too much from Disneyland Paris, keep in mind. We don't know what they're doing with that moolah. Maybe they're just going to take it to offset some admission costs and lodging costs to give guest fees down, knowing more people are enticed to go.
That's what I was saying when we first discussed it, is that they're going to use that money to lower ticket fees for a few years to get more people in. And then once they build up that base, then they can start raising ticket prices.
Right, and then maybe add in some new features while they're at it. Which does seem plausible, because we haven't actually seen any feature things come out of there since that whole bailout happened. So, yeah, there's that. And as for what's going to happen with Hollywood Studios and Echo Lake and all those favorites, who knows? Of course, the Lucasland thing is still an idea with Indiana Jones. Indiana Jones might be getting a reboot, as we talked about. Chris Pratt playing Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
That's something. It's funny because people...
I'm a fan of that.
Yeah, people were actually comparing Chris Pratt to Harrison Ford in Guardians of the Galaxy. You remember that? People were comparing his performance to that of a young Harrison Ford. And so
maybe that's what gave Disney the idea.
Yeah, I mean, you never know.
They're like looking at
They were watching Guardians of the
They're
Galaxy.
like looking on like Rotten Tomatoes. They're like reading every single review, and they're like, "Hey, this guy's up to something."
It's like, that guy said, Chris Pratt is indie. We should do it, guys. Who knows? Maybe... Does George Lucas have anything to do with anything anymore, or is he just kind of like there?
From what I heard...
I think he's, creative consultant, but that doesn't...
Iger doesn't listen to him at all.
Really? Well, Iger also...
They threw out all of his ideas for the new movies.
And how do we know this?
I think Lucas gave an interview.
Lucas gave an interview. I did not hear about
Somebody gave an interview where they were like, yeah, George Lucas gave like all of his ideas, and Iger's like, I don't like it. I don't want to do it. And because he has no say in the company anymore.
I mean, Iger seemed to suggest in his Bloomberg interview that he didn't really interfere much in the creative process. He just knows that there's a lot of hype surrounding Star Wars and that they have to do it right. and that's the amount of influence he's had. And it hasn't really been too much in, do this, don't do this. But, who knows what actually happened.
Yeah, he could just be saying that.
He might be saying that. He might actually be...
Or George Lucas had, like, all control in the creative process, and he just doesn't want to take the downfall if it turns out bad.
Yeah.
He's like, look, if it turns out bad, I had nothing to do with it. They locked me in the closet, and they wouldn't let me come out till the movie was done.
Iger's a yacht, Spectra says. Yeah, so who knows? We have to wait all the way to December to see this movie.
Yeah.
I don't want to wait all the way to December. You'll be home from college when it comes out, right?
Yeah.
We'll go. We'll go and we'll see Star Wars.
DisCast trip.
DisCast trip to go see Star Wars. We'll tell you guys how it is. We'll live stream it. It's very illegal, but we'll do it anyway.
Hey, illegal? I mean, that's just a word, right? Like.
Yeah, it's criticism. It's for criticism. We're criticizing.
It's just implied, right?
I guess.
Legal, like, laws, like, you don't actually have to follow them. They're just... They're guidelines. They're suggested.
Guidelines, yeah, they're, you should probably follow these, but you don't have to. It's fine. If you don't want to, we're cool with that. Yeah. So that's that. So, audience, do you guys have anything you guys want to talk about? Any comments on the things we've talked about? Things like that? I know a couple of you said you had to go midstream, so there's only like half of you left. But what do you guys want to say? You guys are now talking about Bob Iger and having a back and forth about him. So, what do you guys have to say? Do you guys have any? You guys have any comments, any ideas, anything?
They need Tom Staggs to just take over everything.
They need Tom Staggs to take over everything.
Yeah, just make him CEO.
He very well might.
Depending on how the park expansions and Shanghai does, that's gonna seal his future.
Right. Okay.
100%. If Shanghai is this crazy success, they're able to pick up Hollywood studios out of the slums and Avatar Land works, Tom Staggs, hands down, the new Disney company CEO.
I want to see Tom Staggs as CEO. It's definitely something I want. I like that. The Mickey hat is Disney's first.
Yeah, that's almost done. It went down pretty slow. I still stand by what I said last week. I think I said this last week or the week before in the show about how I don't understand, like, the thing's put together in panels. Yet when they're cutting it out, they're not cutting it out in panels. They're just, like, kind of making lines.
Oh, hold on a second. There's something here. So last week, actually, on last Friday, apparently the 500 IT workers at Walt Disney World were laid off. In October, they were ordered to reapply for their jobs and possibly get removed or moved around. And they're all people who were responsible for My Magic Plus, because apparently, they're probably My Disney Experience workers or things like that. So, 500 people. Disney said that the figure of 500 was wrong, but they didn't actually give how many people were laid off. But people were laid off. Disney did confirm that. They just didn't confirm how many. And apparently Disney's been outsourcing their IT to international companies lately.
Really?
In 2012, HCL, which is an India-based company, landed the IT contract, and there's been more international employees being hired than local people. And a lot of them are actually being outsourced there, which is interesting, which is unfortunate, too.
I remember we talked about something similar to this with the animatronics, how Disney doesn't do in-house animatronics anymore.
Right.
When we were talking about the Seven Dwarf animatronics.
That's different. That's an Imagineering and not IT, but...
No, but Disney doesn't do a lot of things in-house anymore.
Yeah, they've been outsourcing a lot of stuff. That's definitely a thing. Awesome Geek, you can always, quit, right? That's the thing. You don't have to get laid off to leave. You're not like, contractually bound to stay forever. But yeah, that's interesting. The whole IT thing. Whether they messed up with My Disney Experience or they just want cheaper work in India, who knows? It could be either. It could be a combination of both.
Yep.
Do we want to end off the show, or we? Have
Yeah, I think that successfully concludes this past week in news.
Sure.
Thank you guys for watching. Thank you all for listening. We shall see you all next time.
Good night, everyone.